Well, thank you for watching us again on Speaking Grace Online. This is our midweek blog, and we kind of changed the scene up a little bit. We're outside enjoying our nice weather, and we want to talk today about prayer. And prayer is one of those things that you and I as believers, we need to be doing. Jesus had a lifestyle of prayer. He taught his disciples how to pray, and you and I need to learn to develop a lifestyle of prayer. And a lot of reasons why people don't pray, there are a couple of reasons. Well, one, they just really don't know how. People don't know how to pray. I've asked certain people, once you pray over this, and they just kind of freeze up. People don't know how to pray, or they get intimidated by prayer. And a lot of times also as people get bored or they get distracted, perhaps you've had the situation, maybe you've fallen asleep when you've prayed. And then a lot of times we just don't think, things really matter to God. We think they're just a little small deal, and we don't really need to tell God about it. Or, we just don't think prayer is really going to make a difference. Well, prayer does make a difference. God responds to prayer. And prayer simply is this. Prayer is just communicating to God. It's just talking to God, just like I'm talking to you on the internet. It's just talking, it's communicating. And so there are a couple of different things we can do with prayer. Is we need to pray with honesty. We can learn to pray and be honest with God. Moses was honest with God. You look at Moses' life throughout the first 5 books of the Bible, and he was very honest with God, told God how he felt, what he was thinking. Look at David. David thought the same thing. Read the Psalms. David, was very wanting to be vengeful towards his enemies and those kind of things. So be honest with God. It's not going to hurt his feelings. He already knows how you feel anyway, so be honest with God. Then the other thing is pray about things that matter to you. Sometimes we think they're just small little deals, but we need everything about us matters to God. Let me give you a couple of scriptures. Over in Philippians chapter 4 and verse 6, it says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and petition with thanksgiving present your request to God." 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 7, "Cast all your care, cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you." And then learn to pray continually. Learn to have a lifestyle of prayer. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 17 talks about praying without ceasing. Learn to pray in your car on your way to work or on your way home, or those kind of things. Develop a lifestyle of prayer. Begin to practice at it. And then also, a lot of people say, well, you just pray one time and forget it, don't worry about it. But you know what? I think we need to pray until we get an answer. Pray until something happens. If you remember the account in 1 Kings chapter 18 where Elijah has just defeated the prophets of Baal, and he declares there's a sound of an abundance of rain. It hadn't rained for 3.5 years. He prayed 7 different times until he saw that, or his servant saw that cloud the size of a man's hand. He prayed until he got an answer. He prayed and stayed after it until he got an answer. And then the last thing is just learn to listen to the response from God. We need to learn to listen with our spiritual ears. Jesus says many times in the Gospels, "He who has ears to hear, let him hear." In other words, he still speaks today, and he'll guide and direct our life. John chapter 10 verse 27, Jesus says, "My sheep listen to my voice. I know them and they follow me." So we can learn to listen to him because he's still speaking to us today. And so those are some things about prayer just wanted to share with you for our midweek blog. We want to say, if you'd like for us to pray with you, pray for you, send in a prayer request by the email, on the internet, or by Facebook, and those kind of things. And we just want to say the Lord bless you. Thank you for watching us on Speaking Grace Online, and we'll see you on Sunday.